NFL Week 10 is here, and you're watching the 4Ps. What are they? Parlays, player props, and predictions. That's the name of the game. In this video, we begin with our anytime touchdown parlay, where I pick my 3 favorite guys to get into the end zone on Sunday. We've done really well on those this season. Then we go to 2 player props, and then we wrap up the video talking about the Lions same game parlay of the week. If you don't know what that is, stay tuned. Lions, SGPs, are basically undefeated the past 2 seasons. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. But as always, if you are new, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. We begin with a recap of how we did the previous day. And on Thursday Night Football, pretty good day for us. 2-0. We had Chase Brown's over in receiving yards. That was sweat-free. Not as sweat-free, our safe same-game parlay. It was 4 legs, plus 166 for half unit. The final leg, the under 69.5 in that game. If you know how that one ended, they ended with 69 on the dot. Shout out the Bengals for going for 2 and not getting it, which helped us cash on the hook. My blood is still pumping from that game, and it's Saturday. But let's dive into the picks. I will have a separate video posted on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time with 5 more plays that I love for Sunday. Definitely tap into that. It will be linked down below in the pinned comment in the description and in the comments down below. You know where we'll find it. Or subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Bunch more plays coming your guys' way Saturday evening. My last note, Sleeper. I don't know how much longer they're going to have this promo going for. I know I've promoted Sleeper a lot over the past few weeks, but that's because they're giving you guys some great offers, and I want you guys to take advantage of it. This one right now, I've only confirmed with them that it's available through Sunday. I don't know if it will be here on Monday, because honestly, I don't think it's a great promo for them business-wise, but it is for you guys. So if you've never signed up for Sleeper, if you sign up using my code COS, they'll match your first deposit 100%, dollar for dollar, up to $1,500. I truthfully don't know how that's profitable for them, but hey, I'm not the one that made the promo. It's just their promo. Go take advantage. Like I said, there's a good chance it's not here on Monday. So if you're going to sign up for Sleeper, make sure you use my code COS. You will also get the free square that you see on the screen. I believe it's CJ Stroud to get 1 yard. So you get that free square and you get a dollar for dollar match up to $1,500. Like I said, Sleeper is insane, but hey, take advantage of that offer. I don't know how much longer it lasts. Links are down below. If you don't remember the code COS, click the link down below. Let's dive in the picks though today. You came for them, and we begin with today's anytime touchdown parlay. We cashed 2 in a row. I want to say we've cashed 4 this season of our 8 or 9 we've given out, and they're always good plus money. We didn't hit last week, but this week we're bouncing back, and we begin with Justin Jefferson in the 1 p.m. window. Then we go to Jalen Hurts in the 4 p.m. window, and then we end Sunday Night Football with the Monra St. Brown. Why do I like these guys? Well, here's why. This is plus 778 on FanDuel for all 3 to score a touchdown. Justin Jefferson hasn't scored in 2 weeks, 2 straight, and the Jaguars, who he faces on Sunday, I think they've given up the 2nd or 3rd most receiving touchdowns and passing touchdowns. He's going to find his way into the end zone. Jalen Hurts, we know when they get to the 1 yard line, he's grubbing and he's getting that touchdown. Sorry, Saquon. You got your touchdowns last week. It's Jalen Hurts' time. He's getting his rushing touchdown. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown has a touchdown in 6 straight games. The Texans have also given up a lot of passing touchdowns this season. They, like the Jaguars, are in like the top 3 in terms of passing touchdowns given up. So again, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Hurts, Amon-Ra St. Brown, all to score a touchdown, plus 778 on FanDuel. That's my anytime touchdown parlay of the week. Let's cash it. Now we got to dive into some plays. The first one will begin with just a 1-unit play. Then we'll have a bigger play. And then we'll have our Lions SGP. This guy, I love him. Breece Hall over 95.5 rushing plus receiving yards minus 115 on Fanatics. I personally would play this line up to 105.5 for Breece Hall. I love him. Only a 1-unit play because he is a New York Jet and I am a Jets fan, but I really love this spot for Breece Hall. And I think this is the spot where he could honestly have 125, 150 rushing and receiving yards. I think this is a terrific game script for him, a terrific game for Breece Hall to really be used not only in the running game, but in the passing game. And I'll talk about why I like both of those. Breece's last 4 games, 169, 141, 89, and then 85 rushing plus receiving yards. So he is under in 2 straight. Got within, 10, 15 yards of hitting it, but still went under. I don't care. It doesn't matter if he gets within 10, 15 yards. If he's not getting over, I don't care where he ends. Now, the last 2 games, we've seen Breece Hall not be a big factor in the receiving game for the New York Jets. In fact, only 20 combined receiving yards these last 2. I haven't liked the matchups. The Texans are a team that blitz a lot, so Breece Hall's not going out for a lot of passes. I forget who they played the week before. I love this matchup for him in the receiving game. This Cardinals defense, if you've watched them this season, they're not the best unit. They've been pretty good the last week or 2. But what they do is they just try to pick one thing. They're going to stop that one thing. So, for instance, against the Dolphins, it was Tyreek Hill. Against the Jets, I don't anticipate that being Breece Hall. I don't anticipate them loading the box and saying, Aaron Rodgers beat us. No, instead, I expect them to try to take away Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams as best they can. They're going to basically play a lot of too high coverage, and they're going to beg the Jets to run the ball or pass it to their running backs. This is where I see Breece Hall having a big day. This season, the Cardinals have allowed the 7th most rush attempts and rushing yards, 7th most in each, to running backs. Additionally, 11th most receptions, 10th most receiving yards to running backs. So again, they play a lot of too high coverage. They try to take away your number 1 or 2 option. They're not going to try to take Breece Hall, in my opinion, away until he's absolutely gashing them in the receiving game, which certainly could happen. We've seen Breece Hall have games this season where he's had 70, 80 receiving yards. We've seen him do it before. I see a very similar box score to Devon Achane a few weeks ago against the Cardinals. What did he do? 97 rush yards, 50 receiving yards. I think this is a great spot where we see Breece Hall factored in both the rushing and the receiving game. I think this is a massive game for him. Don't know if and when you're taking a rushing and receiving yards, it's kind of independent of game script. Obviously, we'd love him to get some rush yards and the Jets to be leading, but if they're trailing, they'll be throwing it a bunch, and Breece can do his job there too. I also love that the Cardinals 5th lowest time of possession. So we should get the Jets offense on the field a lot. And hopefully that should lead to a big day for Mr. Breece Hall. So give me his over 95 rushing and receiving yards. I don't mind either of his two individual props. I think he goes over in rushing yards. I honestly think he could go over in receiving yards too. Breece, we love you. My second play, we're heading out to Germany, where we have a 1.25 unit play, and it's on the New York Giants running back Tyrone Tracy Jr. I took his over 69.5 rushing yards, aka 70 plus at -128 on FanDuel. And I also laddered him up for an extra quarter unit, 100 plus rushing yards at +300 on Bet365. Now, depending on when you're watching this, if it's after 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, hopefully Tyrone Tracy's making me look pretty smart. If he's making me look like an idiot, it wasn't me that gave out this pick. But again, this is an early start, so make sure you lock it in. Tyrone Tracy has taken this Giants backfield over, and he ain't looking back. Devin Singletary, who? Yeah, it's been Tyrone Tracy. And if you don't have, the ability to take a quarter unit up to 100 plus, I'd like his regular lineup to about 75.5. Now, over the last 5 weeks, Tracy has been pretty good. He's at 129, 50, 23, 145, and 66 rush yards. So you've seen the ability for that 100-plus potential. He's seen 18, 17, 6, 20, and 16 rush attempts. Last week, not the greatest week for them against the Commanders. He only had 6 rushing yards in the final 21 minutes. So he did not get any looks because they were trailing by 2 scores. Obviously, in this game against the Panthers, they are a touchdown favorite, 6.5-point favorite. So they are expected to be leading this game, which obviously helps us for some rushing yards. Also, last week, his longest rush was only 10 yards. So let's hope Tyrone can break off a big one here. Additionally, we've seen the Panthers, they suck at stopping the run. This season, they've allowed the most rushing yards, 6th most rushing yards before contact, so they're not even getting to guys. And the Panthers have also seen the most rushing attempts in the NFL, a rushing defense that's really struggling. On the flip side, their offense isn't doing a great job at keeping the opposing offense off the field because they basically go 3 and out. Bryce Young has not looked great, obviously coming off a win last week, but still, they got outgained by like 250 yards. It was mostly the defense that was making the stops when they needed them. Also, 11 running backs have 12 or more rush attempts versus Carolina. 8 of those 11 hit this over at 70 rush yards. Of the 3 guys that went under, 2 of them had a player on their team hit the over. So we looked at Zach Moss, he had Chase Brown hit 70 plus, and Gus Edwards, he had J.K. Dobbins at 70 plus. So again, number 1 running backs typically are having pretty good days against the Carolina Panthers. This is a team that just got gashed for 155 from Alvin Kamara. The Giants are going to be without Darius Slayton. I think this is an offense that leans on that rushing attack. Devin Singletary might get a couple attempts here and there, but Tyrone Tracy has really been their guy. I think you see rush attempts from him in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and most importantly, in that fourth quarter where he maybe has to climb to the 100 plus. I love him. 1 unit on the regular over, a quarter unit on the 100 plus, a little sprinkle at +300. Tyrone, we're a big fan of you. Start off week 10 Sunday with a great 100-plus yard effort in Germany in that international game. And then my final play, as always, we end the videos with the Lions SGP of the week. What does that mean? I go to a Lions game, not technically go to it, but I find the betting, I go to it, and I find my favorite legs for SGP. Last year, I want to say we were 10-1 on Lions same game parlays. This year, I haven't done as many. Partially because they've had Jamison Williams. He's kind of been annoying, but I like this spot here for this Lions SGP, and I think it's another winner. So without further ado, here's the Lions SGP of the week. 4 legs. We have a couple Texans in here, but the 2 Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, 40 rush yards, Dave Montgomery, 25 rush yards. Those are a staple to the Lions SGPs of the week. The other 2 legs, Joe Mixon, 50 rush yards, and CJ Stroud, 150 pass yards. This is +107 on FanDuel. Now, there are going to be people out there that are like, Austin, 4 legs for +107. Terrible. Hey, sure. but we're like 13-1 on these things over the past 2 seasons. So hey, man, you don't need to tail if you don't want to. They've been printing for us. There's a reason we love the Lions. Now let's talk with these legs, and then obviously we'll dive into them. Gibbs, I don't mind him for 50 either. 40 is just a little bit safer. Gibbs has 40 rushing yards or more in every game this season. Montgomery has 25 rush yards in every game this season. Those are 2 legs that are always in these Lions SGPs they printed. The Texans have been a decent rush defense. Not recently, though. They have allowed the last 3 games 4.9 yards per carry, the 7th highest. And they faced teams like the Jets, who have really struggled to run the football, and they still gave up a lot of yards. I like Gibbs more than Montgomery just because he's more explosive, but I like both of them. They both could easily get 40. I think both these guys have big days. Give me 40 for Gibbs, 25 for Montgomery. Now we move to Joe Mixon. He has 50 rush yards in 5 of his 6 games. His only miss was a game he got injured in. We'll cut him a break there. 100 plus in 4 straight. And since Aiden Hutchinson went down with an injury, get well soon, Lions, not been a great rush defense. 8th most rush yards per attempt, 4.6. 3 straight running backs have 90 or more rushing yards against them. So again, Aiden Hutchinson, a big factor in that rushing defense. Without him, they've been struggling. CJ Stroud and Joe Mixon's teams crossed up. They want to run the football. I know CJ Stroud's great. We'll see if Nico Collins returns, but they're going to want to run the football. Joe Mixon will get 50 rush yards. And then finally, you'll see CJ Stroud. We need 150 yards from him. If Nico Collins is back, cool. If not, I don't care. All 8 QBs that face Detroit this season have 150 passing yards. Stroud, 150 plus in 8 of 9, 260 or more in 4 straight home games. That, my friends, is how you cook up a 4-leg Lion same-game parlay winner to build up your bankroll. I like those 4 legs at plus 107, 1 unit on that boy, 1.25 on Tyrone Tracy, and 1 unit on Mr. Brees Hall. Those are some winners. I just cooked up an undefeated video. You're welcome. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, though. Like I said, we'll have an NFL video live Saturday evening at 6 p.m. with a bunch of more plays. I encourage you to check it out. It's 60 seconds, so I only have 60 seconds to give out a play and get you guys to bet it. It's a pretty fast-paced video. I encourage you to check it out. I'll link it on the screen whenever it's live. Our other video where we talk about every spread, money line, total that we like is also live. Have a great day. Good luck on Sunday. Let's sweep the board. See you in the other videos. Peace.